Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ben Harmon. I'm here with Kate Flowers. We head up our financial education team, and this is I believe, the seventh part of our education series that we're going to keep going on. We do offer a couple webinars each month, 15 minutes to keep it easy and quick, and also straight to the point. So without further ado, let's get into it. So building an emergency savings, I know is a lot easier said than done. I know I've seen a lot of people be successful at this. I've seen a lot of people have great attempts, but I have also seen some people just fall short from things that we all kind of run into. And so we'll touch base on here and that in a minute. But building emergency savings is really something that is near and dear to my heart because I feel like when anybody runs into some kind of financial downplay, it's always the need of an emergency savings, even if it just offsets it. So definitely make this important. It is my most important thing is savings. That's what I like the most about anything financial. Again, the more that we have of it, the better that we're covered. And I always will start off with a quote. So your emergency savings is not an investment, it's insurance with one purpose to protect you and your family. And so it's not something that is supposed to be used for something else. It's not supposed to be divvied up and try to make more money off of. It's just supposed to sit there and be there for that emergency, right? So that when we do have that emergency, we don't have to reach for that high interest credit card or a payday loan or other options that might cost us a lot of money and interest in a long time to pay it off. Um, so we think about why should I save for emergencies? Well, it's being prepared. Issues like car and home repairs, appliance repairs, they're common occurrences for everyone, and we're all going to run into them at some point in our life. There's no way of avoiding that indefinitely. If we knew that, we'd probably know how to read the future, and we probably wouldn't have to save anything. Please, if that's you, let me know. I'd like to also like play my winning lottery numbers. Also, avoiding debt. So I've seen it. I've been in the banking industry for about 12 years now. I've seen people come in where all of a sudden um, they had a health emergency, right? Nothing they could prepare for, and now they have multiple payments and hits on their credit report, and their savings accounts and checking accounts are at very low balances or overdrawn, and it's a hard cycle to get out of because it's not that people don't feel bad for you. It's just that they don't. No one's sitting on a pot of gold either. So a lot of times you have to take care of this yourself and make sure you have some savings set aside. And then always having peace of mind. It's like the sleep easy pill at night, right? You got enough money in your account to cover an emergency. If you wake up in the morning, you just hear water running in your basement and you don't have anything that should be running. These are the things that money will help cover, and again, sleeping easy at night if you think it's going on, it really does help, right? It just makes a big difference when you need it, and it really will help reduce stress. I know that there's a lot of people that like on paydays, and it's like when they get their pay, it's like it's always a less stressful day versus the day before payday, right? um, so those are some of the main reasons why someone should save: being prepared, avoiding debt, and also having peace of mind. They're very things that are comfortable for the mind. And think about all the things that we're stressing out with nowadays. This could be one easy thing off the list. And again, it doesn't have to be saving thousands. It could just be starting somewhere small. So how much can emergency cost? Well, it can be hard to save when you have bills coming in too, because you usually get paid, you pay your bills, and you have a little bit left over, and it's a quality of life for now or a quality of life adjustment for the future. And you have to decide what those dollars are going to play out. Are they going to be for now, or are they going to be for the future? They still will help enjoy or maybe increase the value or quality of your life. However, they might just not do it now, right? Later. And that's the whole idea that we're going on. It's just something that's hard for all of us to do, but we all face it. We all face a common challenge of having not much money left over, and we go up and down through our careers and our life paths that we will run into different things. Maybe we all of a sudden are taking care of a kid or a sick loved one. There's a lot of different things that can come up, but these will be something that we all have to. And this is why, even if it's just a little bit, to keep pushing. Um, but when we dive in a little bit deeper, we look at the annual cost of three most common unexpected expenses. The first one is, I'm sure as you guessed, it's car repair. On average, is about $564 a year. The next one we're going to look at is appliance repair. So if you rent, this might not be something for you, but a lot of us, it's about $170 a year. Now, that's not just for the one repair. I know some people saying, well, if I got something repaired for $170, we think about year over year average cost. So $170 a year is on average what it costs to repair an appliance. It could be a washing machine, dryer, dishwasher, refrigerator. Um, snow blower. And then also the one that we don't really want to look at too much is the emergency room visit, which is substantially more than all other unexpected expenses that we run into. And this is really, I know people can make bad calls, but this is the one that really gets people that's not really their fault. I mean, you might be in poor health and you might be able to help some of it, but you can't all of a sudden, predict that you needed 10 grand for an emergency room visit, or maybe you don't have insurance. These are real things that people run into, and this is why we want to have it. Now, I'm not saying that $2,168 is the cost. That's just an average cost of what people pay annually in the emergency room visit. So when we look even further into it, just 39% of Americans can handle an unexpected expense of $1,000. And so that leaves quite a lot left over, and you really think about like where you stand, right? Do you stand on the 39% side, or are you on the other side? And it's not something to beat yourself up. This is nothing to do with that, but it is to be real and hold yourself accountable, right? Make that strive, start today. Really try to be on the other side of that spectrum. I even see, a lot of times when people run into issues, it's just a few $100s, right? Not saying emergency room visit will be covered, but it's just a couple $100. Like a bill came in too soon, right? Came in too soon, too quick, too fast. Wasn't supposed to come in. Those auto pay sometimes are fickle, and sometimes that's why I see people get caught up with those overdraft charge expenses. And if it's something that you've dabbled in that area a lot, you don't really get that many back, and it starts getting real expensive. So a lot of times, it's like baby step, right? Well, where do you baby step to? What do you run into? What things that should you consider? So, how much should I save being you for emergencies, right? The recommended amount is 3 to 6 months. Now, I know that can be intimidating, but don't let it bother you. This is just national average because we think about people if they get let go from a job and they can't find job quickly. This isn't short term. Pay loss. This is long term. So 3 to 6 months is what's recommended. Obviously, the 6 months, but don't be intimidated by it, right? Because savings is a process and it's going to take time. It's not something that you're just going to have overnight. It's not something that's just going to be easy for you if it has been easy in the past. If right now in your current situation you don't have savings, um, start small, right? Consider smaller goals along the way. They will really try to, well, not try to, they will really help you. If you like, okay, I want to save $1,000, but I'm gonna save $250 each month. Split up with my paychecks and see if I get there. Take the small steps. You'll be surprised how fast it goes. I know that for me, I usually try to save up $1,000 for just like those emergencies along the way. Like I have my one fund, but I try to have another side account. And when I see it dip, it bothers me, right? Because like once I've reached that goal, and it's not the end goal. Like I don't have quite 6 months of my income saved up, but it's not the end goal, right? It's just a little step along the way, but it feels good because once I've hit that milestone, if it goes back a little bit, like ooh, it gets me a little bit. So I just want to make sure that I make those small steps, and so every little granule around the way, if it helps you do it, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And then as always, when I talk about goals, if you've joined me in some of my other lessons, tell someone about it. Tell someone that you're saving emergency, making an emergency fund. Tell someone, maybe they'll join you in the fun, right? But make it the best you can, right? I'm not going to do on the whole quote about lemons, but make it as fun as you can. The more people you get involved with, or just talk to someone about it. And this is true for a lot of financial behaviors that we run into. You should talk to people about it. Talk to that one person and trust in them that obviously your secrets are kept, but that they will give you solid feedback, right? And don't seek out the person that's not going to help you along the way. You want that person that can really tell you or lay it straight in these kinds of things, because you don't want someone to butter coat it or sorry, sugar coat it and make it soft for you. You want them to let you know that you're either doing it or not. And so when you consider small goals, definitely consider telling someone else about it as well. So what is the best way to start? Well, first way, track your income. This is true for a lot of things, right? If you want to create a budget, well, we can't have an emergency savings without a budget. So these things all intermingle, right? There's no one infinite way of getting done with it. They're going to always mingle. But the best way is check your income. And if that is easier for you on a paper basis where you actually write it down, I recommend it. If you are okay on the computer, because that's what you feel comfortable with, maybe even drag it into a Excel sheet or a Word document just so you can track it, something to come back to. You want to definitely be able to look back, so see if you made mistakes or adjust it. The next one is going to definitely be your expenses, right? So what's coming in, you got locked down, perfect. What's going out, right? And then the next one's the one of the hardest, right? Figure out your needs. Now, because a lot of us, like myself, we run into situations where we can kind of make something fall between a need and a want. Maybe it switches sides a little bit. Like you think about a parent with young kids that might have sleepless nights, and you think about coffee, right? They might not necessarily need that, or it might be more of a want, but after a night of sleeplessness, they might need a cup of coffee. And so there are ways that we can all kind of do it. But again, this goes back with accountability, right? If you are trying to better yourself, you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to be the driver. Don't let someone else take the wheel for you. Um, and I know you can do it, right? I know that you can do it. I've seen so many people come from different areas of education, monies, whatever they have, lot, little, and I've seen a lot of people get that strength and that courage to take charge of their money. Make money work for you. And so when you figure out your needs, be tight, be stringent. You can always add something back, right? Oh, actually, that is a need. Ooh, I didn't give myself enough gas, right? You get some things that float in that area. And then, after you figure out your needs, generally what's left over is your disposable income. And that's when you're going to make a savings habit, right? So literally, I always tell people you get paid, pay your mortgage and your car note, and then put money in savings. Don't wait till you've paid all your bills. And this is where, because a lot of times people have their needs, and their needs aren't really needs, they're more wants. And by the time you get all that money gone, there's just nothing left. So again, be tight on your needs, and then make it a habit right away to have that disposable income, some of that to the savings account. Some people find a great way in hiding their account. I know at Arbor, you can make your account disappear where it's still there, it's just not visible in like online banking or mobile banking. However, you could still make transfers to it or have automatic transfers go into it. Some people have a secondary account at another location that they can set up tracking. Whatever way to do it, I always say automate it because I feel like if it's automated, it feels more like a bill. And that's definitely the way to treat savings. Not to make it like a daunting over the head bill, but making it that important that if you don't pay it, something's going to happen, right? And again, we're taking current dollars and putting them in for future dollars because we know that at some point we will need them as time goes on. And then truly after making the savings habit, really limit your spending, right? Limit your spending as much as possible. Do you need this? And I know that it's temptation. There's temptation that fights us right now. I can tell you right now, I'm so tired of sitting in my house. I cannot wait. And when summer starts or spring starts, it's gonna be very hard for me, but I know where I want to be in the future, and keeping that what the victory looks like. And so I know where I want to be when it comes down to that spending. But it's going to be very tough, and it's going to probably be tough for a lot of us. But again, I know you can do it. Just hang in there, and just make sure that you see that goal, right? If you want to start the emergency savings, if it's the budget year, keep your goal in mind, and then always know when you've crossed the finish line, right? Don't just keep on changing it to something else. So without that, that's pretty much what I have for um, the way to building an emergency savings. Again, tracking your income, knowing your expenses, really figure out your needs, making a savings a habit because it will start building over time, and then limiting your spending. So when you limit your spending, if you have extra, then you dump more to your savings. And you'd be surprised. I know there's a lot of people that say they can't save anything. However, if I go through your statement and we have a needs and wants, and I'm the one deciding what a need and a want is, I'm very certain we can find some gaps of rooms that we can save for more money, which would definitely go into our emergency savings. So thank you very much. I will go ahead and have this recorded and sent out. If there's any questions, feel free to respond back to the email. I would love to help you. If it's not even related to this, we are here for you, and more than willing to serve. Thank you very much.